we're having this conversation right now. You guys are light years past the people of your age. Even the fact that we're having this discussion and you're able to see here is self-assess yourself. But it doesn't mean nothing if you're just going to self-assess and not go put in the changes. So like what we just said, what you need to change. So the ball is in your court. You're only going to be as good as a leader as you want to be. Again, you can fix the things that you're saying. You have the ability to go fix it and come back and be a better leader. And why not? Why not? Again, you guys are both going into arenas and you're only going to get older. You're at that age now where you got to figure it out. At this age, most people know like, okay, I'm going to do it or I'm not. Like you have it kind of like made up in your mind. Like I got what it take or I don't. I know both of y'all have what it take. I just need both of y'all to know that you have what it take. All right? Go be it. Go be the next future leaders. We say it all the time. You guys are. But at the end of the day, it's on you. We can't do it for you. That's all I need y'all to know. All right? Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. To right of me, we got Mr. Military Man, Mr. Myles the Comico. How you feeling today, bro?
Feeling pretty good.
Really good. I love to hear it. To the right here, we got two special guests. The first one up, Mr. Vari, Jelks. How you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling good to be on the show.
Feeling good. I love it. To the right of him, we got Mr. Kinsler. How you feeling today, London?
Excellent.
Great. Again, the boy teasing. Look at it. Happy to be on TV. They try to look good. Look at them. They try to look good for the TV. But no, man, another week, another episode. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. So right now, before we just start, what I want you to do is like, subscribe, and comment. All right, stop what you're doing and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. We're going to have a great conversation today. What I want to get into today. So in our world and even in our community and definitely in our organization, one thing we preach about is leadership. We're trying to build the next leaders of the world. All right. And I think this is a problem, or this is what people face in every part of the world. You're trying to build what's next. And it's not the easiest thing to do. So we got two young men that we are leaders within our organization. Sometimes they do good at it. Sometimes they do bad at it. But we're going to have a conversation about it. We're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to see what's hard about it, what they like about it, and just what they think about leadership. And that's what we're going to spin around today. So I kind of want to let's start off with Mr. Myles first. Mr. Myles, when you think about leadership, just to open it up for the young boys, when you think about leadership, what has been, I guess, your toughest, for you personally, your toughest task when it comes to being in roles of leadership, and what has been, I guess, the good side of something, what you liked about being in roles of leadership?
Say the hard parts, especially going back to my younger years, is the separation of myself from those that were my peers or those that were around me. And that's always difficult because when you come from out of the group and now you're expected to be in a leadership role, obviously that's a new task upon your shoulders. There's a new level of expectations that's put upon you. You have different duties now that doesn't necessarily mirror the duties of your peers. So you have a different workload and different expectation, which means you have to move differently, which that can be hard for young men to understand what that actually looks like to move differently, especially when you've been around a certain group for years and now you're called to come out from around them in the general sense and to now guide them or to help guide them. That's a challenging position to be in for anybody. I would say what it taught me or good in that is it taught me how to be versatile. So it taught me how there's a time and place for everything. There's a time to lead. There's a time to follow. There's a time to talk. There's a time to be quiet and listen. It's just getting that awareness up to know when and how to be what's needed at the end of the day for the team or for the overall success that the collective is trying to go for.
Yeah. And that's what they, even in my standpoint, one thing I think about is that separation piece that you said. That's a hard part. And that's even in adult age. So when you've been around people for a certain amount of time, if it's family, if anybody, they take you for who you are. And as you're growing, they may not be growing. And all they remember you as the person that they met and the person that they know. But during that time, they may be stagnant, but you're getting better. You're learning. You're doing these different things. But they still see you as that person you were all the years ago when they met you. So to a standpoint like this in the organization, all y'all may come in the same time, but somebody may be raising or learning more and getting, going through the rates higher than someone else. But then when it's time for you to actually get the blessings of the leaders and say, hey, you're the leader, now your peers are like, man, that's London. That's Vari. They're not looking at you as the leaders. So I don't know if y'all dealing with that, but I kind of spin it with you, and I'm going to start with you, London, first. So you being a leader, you being one of the oldest boys in the group, next year you're about to be a junior mentor. All right. What are some of the difficulties you've had as far as in the group with Kut Different as being a leader? What's difficulties have you seen?
For starters, like definitely what Mr. Myles said, separating yourself from the group, because making that jump from going from a person that's in the crowd, like actually doing the things with them, then making that jump to go from someone that's trying to lead them, I feel like you understand it more because you were in that group while they were playing around. Then now you got to change your mindset. You like, dang, all right, now I see where my mentor coming from. It's hard. It's kind of hard to lead these kids, and yeah, that, and then like, yeah, just like the mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. You just got to change your mindset, change your perspective, like get it outside view on the whole situation.
Yeah. What's hard about that? So when it comes to change, because I get it, changing, it's not easy. First of all, to change your mindset to be a certain way for so long, and then be able to look at things differently. But then now you're trying to instill that same mindset on others, and they thinking how you used to think. You get what I'm saying? So, and you're one person. So now you got a group of 20 boys, and you're the one leader trying to instill that whole thing. So what about that? So tell me some ways you try to go about it as far as when you think about leadership, how do you go about it when it comes to working with your brothers?
All right, I'll give you an example. All right, Mondays and Wednesdays, we have Miss Consuela to come in, and say one of the boys, let's say they talking out of line while Miss Consuela is trying to give her lesson, give her her lesson. And then I was like, if they sit right next to me all the time, I'll be like, but come on, bro, you're not supposed to be doing that. But, all right, usually I sit in the back so I can see the whole room and see, like, what's going wrong and what I could try to fix. All right, say the person that's not checking off, he's in the front. I'll try to get one of the other older mentees to, like, I'll tap him. I'll be like, hey, try to get him to check. Tell him to sit up. Tell him to start talking. So, like, I'll try to send a message through other people, or, like, just do a little snap or something, just something small so they can, like, know that they're doing wrong.
And because what we've seen a lot is usually when you guys try to get on somebody, their first reaction is to say something bad, or act like they weren't doing something, or act like it's somebody else. And I'm pretty sure at a certain point in your life, you may have done those same things.
Right.
And those are the things we see it all the time. We see it all the time. You'll see somebody doing something, and they literally, once you try to call them out on them, they be like, oh, like things like that's happening with adults. You get what I'm saying? So what you guys are experiencing, and we put you in these roles because we hope that through you experiencing this and understanding this, you see that, okay, like there's change need to be made. So you have to, like, your leadership, you have to be so concrete with the messaging. It happens over time. A lot of things don't change just quickly. It happens over time, going for point blank period. We in week 8 right now.
Right.
All right. And we just had to get on y'all, you know what I mean, for talking and doing different things. And we are in week 8. We would expect for y'all in this spot of time, but we understand. Well, I ain't even gonna say we understand it. You guys should understand that you should be doing, but you still are. So I won't even touch on that. Not even go to Vari for this, just to throw you in here. All right. So it's week 8. All right. Week 8. We've been having a great summer, and a day like today. All right. Just being transparent about the day. You guys talking, you boys, we get it. You're talking, but we have an accountability system where we have to hold you guys accountable. When we get into, and you guys go, so why do you think, let me just start there. Why do you think we're still in week 8 and we have to get on y'all about simple things about talk? Why do you think that?
I think it's really like, cause what we used to do, like with the boys, they just look at us like boring and London, and like it's hard to get our word across for them to listen and stuff.
Yeah. So you're saying that they're best in that respect in your leadership. All right. So, and I'm even so Mr. Myles. So one thing we get, because we always sit back, and sometimes I've been in the office, but I be hearing in those moments, from what he's saying, when he's getting, do you think they're not listening because it's they just not listening, or they like, well, you talking too type of thing? What do you think that respect, that lack of respect?
I observe more than I speak when it comes to how y'all interact in the classroom. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the biggest things from my observation is that it's not that, okay, well, we don't respect you trying to tell us to do better. It's more so as what have you shown us before now that is to entice me to listen to you. When it comes down to leadership, it's what happens before you give the order out. Like, whenever people talk about leadership, they think about leadership, they just think about demanding something from somebody, or telling somebody what to do. That's not what leadership is. It's everything that leads up to the moment before you give out a command, you give out an order, anything. It's what's been built up. So it's part of that separating yourself. Make sure that you separate yourself. When I say separate yourself, it's not about the physical, like proximity. It's not about you just not hanging around these people at all. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about separating yourself is in the level of expectation you have for yourself, with the accountability aspect, with making sure that you are upholding the standards as much as the actual mentors of the organization. That's what it means to separate yourself. Instead of being passive and waiting for someone to say something or whatever, like, be proactive. Make sure that is prevented, the issue is prevented. And that's how I personally operate. I try to be proactive. I try to prevent things from getting to a certain point. So even when I say, hey guys, start to quiet down, guys, see where it's about to head. If it's not, curved off, which is why I try to tell y'all, get ahead of the issue. Don't be reactive to it. Because if you're reactive to it, you see what ends up happening. Then y'all have to go run, y'all have to suffer the consequences, this, that, and the third. So from, again, my observational perspective, make sure that you're actually presenting yourself as a leader before it comes time for you to step into that role to try and give guidance and direction to somebody else. You have to represent that in everything that you do all day long. Like I told you today, it's not a cherry pick. It's not, well, I'm going to be on right now, but I'm going to turn it off in a little bit. No, it's a commitment. You have to be committed to it every single day.
Yeah, I like it. And even piggybacking on that, so Vari, what I want to ask you, would you listen to you? If you were, so again, if you were, you get what I'm trying to say, would you take commands from you? And if so, why? And if not, why?
Yeah, in certain moments, like when it's like something small and I tell them to do this or do that, like tell them to stop talking, I'll listen to myself, telling myself to stop talking. But like, if it's something big, they're not going to listen to me because they know, like, I don't always get on to them about that because I always do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it sometimes and then I'll get on them about it sometimes. So I wouldn't really listen to myself.
Okay, so you basically, what you're saying is that the things that you get on other people about, you do it as well. Okay, so that's what I was trying to get at. So that's the same thing, just going back to this Myles saying, this is what we're trying to get y'all to understand. So when it comes to leadership, and you just said sometimes, so I asked you, would you listen to yourself? You said, in leadership, it's either one side or the other. You can't play both sides. You can't expect for somebody to listen to you at one point and then not. It's either I'm going to listen to you or I'm not. So that's when you got to look at the man in the mirror. That's that point when you're looking in the mirror and making like, why am I even trying to tell somebody to do something and I don't do it? You get what I'm saying? That's when real change happens. When you're able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I don't deserve to be able to tell somebody to be quiet because I'm doing the same foolishness. That's when change happens. So that's what we try to get you. And that's even why I want to have this conversation. Even going back to now, so we go into the gym and we're running. You and bro, 2 leaders, all right? And we see this all the time. I've been to y'all football games. I've been to football games, and not just y'all, but some of y'all games as well. Most time when you're tired, most people can't think. And they start acting irrationally. They start fussing. They start acting, for lack of better terms, acting like little girls. And now everybody's bickering at each other. So why? So why when we're tired, why do we resort to going back and forth? Because this even go to football and it happened today in the gym. So why do we think this? Any one of y'all can answer this. Why do we think people go back?
I really think like our mind, like it just starts spinning and a bunch of thoughts just come up. And they don't be like good thoughts, they be bad thoughts. And like the first thing that come to your mind, it just come out your mouth. And then like all that anger just build up. And like the first person that say something, you want to let it all out of you.
Kind of, yeah, like what you said, it's more of an anger built up type of thing. Cause you already, all right, when the mentors come in the room, they be like, you already know what time it is. And that, like, right there, everybody get, they start bickering, like you said. Then when we actually get on the baseline, we do a couple and we be chilling. Then somebody will start missing. Then they be like, oh my God, they start complaining, bickering again. So that's the second strike. Then somebody will say something to them. Then it's the third strike. Then they go to bickering again. Then it's like, it's something small and it leads to something big. No.
And then like when y'all do come in the room and be like, oh, y'all already know what time it is. Everybody will start like building that anger up right there. So like when we get on the court, like they don't even want to talk. They don't want to clap it up for everybody. They don't want to lead. And with an example, they just want to be angry all the time.
Well, what did I say to y'all in those moments?
Lead.
And at the end of the day, you know, you can't get mad at a consequence that you help initiate or that you help bring into it. You think about that. Just think about it logically, right? If you part of the issue, if you part of what's going to bring about a consequence, do you have any right to complain when it comes?
No, sir.
No. So the only people that have any justification to complain about having to run are those that's actually doing what they're supposed to do. And most of the time, I say 99.9% of the time, they're the most quiet individuals even when they have to go out there and run, which is why I get on to y'all when y'all out there. Because I can sit there and point out several young men that did nothing to deserve having to go out there on that court. Yet they sitting there holding their heads up. They sitting there facing the consequence of group effort as men. They're not sitting there bickering or pointing fingers. They just completing the task at hand and moving on. But what's always going to get me to get on to y'all is when y'all do that, when y'all bicker, especially when you're part of the overall voice or the noise that led to the consequence. Because my thing is, I need you to understand that you played a hand in this. So you don't get to now point fingers and yell at somebody else. Because the first thing you need to do is check yourself at that point and say, okay, why am I still doing this that's leading us into this undesired consequence, this undesired result? If you don't like it, then fix it. I know if I don't like something, I do everything in my power to fix it. So you have to adopt that, especially if you talking about you being a leader. Now, that's when the gut check comes in and say, okay, what is it about me that's still deficient or not, meeting the expectation? What about me do I have to sit there and change? What about me do I need to cut away from myself or to amp within myself? Those are all questions you have to ask yourself when you find yourself in those moments. Then you have to actually address it within yourself and move on. But when you sit there just that constant bickering, what do y'all win? Nothing, right? Spreads, right? So it just compiles the consequence, right? Which is why I said today, just be quiet, do what it is you got to do, especially if you're one of the ones that led to it. I really don't want to hear your voice in that moment because you had every opportunity to not only fix yourself, but to help fix your brothers, but you chose not to.
Yeah, and that's a true testament of leadership. I hate to tell you, so true testament of leadership is in those times, like in that time. And even I'm pretty sure Mr. Myles' background, my background is sports. Like leaders really showed up in those hard moments. That's when we need it the most. Everybody can lead or everybody can be good when everything's good. The sun's out, but when it starts raining, when there's road bumps and all those things, that's the true testament of leadership. And that's when most of you fold. But that's going to lead us down the wrong path because, again, when everything is good, we cool. But when noise, like you said, when your head start rattling and you're tired and all the things going on, all our leaders see. And now they fussing at each other. Now we looking at each other like, who's going to lead? So, and I could even go back to my example myself. And, you guys, sports athletes, every good team I was on, we had those leaders that when it got tough, they still were going to be on some Tim Tebow type stuff, just to give you a reference. Always positive. Let's go. If they make a mistake, they come in, hey, I got you. I'm going to get that back. Like you never seen them frustrated, like rallying. They always kept the team calm. And that's when we talking to y'all, when we running, and even when y'all running, we start fussing at y'all even more because we're trying to get you even more frustrated because we understand that you getting weak now and he's about to quit sooner or later. That's why when I come out there and I start saying y'all soft, quit, doing all these different things, because it's like, I want you to fold. I want to see if you really, really a man, if you're really going to be able to stand up to the point, because life is going to do this to you. Analogy, those sprints, they feel tough. And yes, they hurt. I bet because y'all run a lot of sprints. But imagine how life going to feel when you get into the moments where you're trying to figure out how to pay for this or how can I do this and that, and you don't got the resources and you trying to, and them real life consequences come up to you. That's what we're trying to prepare you for. We were actually trying to prepare you so you don't have to face that, but life always throw challenges. That right there is just a small testament. When you be able to look yourself and be like, man, I'm going to get through it. I've been through worse. I'm telling you, the tough times I've been through in my life, it prepares me for now, because it's like, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I don't seem like death. Like I pushed my body to the limit, so I'm almost checking out. I don't feel like nothing else really can like hurt me. You get in front of for lack of a word. So I want that to say for y'all. So going back to that leadership question, even now, we 8 weeks in our summer program. London, you going to high school, Vari, you going to 8th grade. We've been with y'all, both you guys, for a long, long time. When you think about leadership, okay, do you think that you are a leader? Because I ain't asked you that question. Are you a leader? And if you're a leader, what has Kut Different, and how has it opened your eyes up more to be a leader?
First of all, yes, I feel like I am a leader because, well, all right, let me say it. I feel like I have leadership qualities, but I haven't met the expectations of a full leader, because, like, it's small stuff. I changed my mindset. Like, if you go back and look at me from a couple years ago, you'll see that I would, like, if someone tell me to do something, but you don't tell me what to do. You're not my mom, you're not my dad, this and that. But now I feel like if someone was to tell me something and I know I'm doing wrong and they try to correct me, I'll be like, all right, you right. I should never been doing that. And then I'll correct it. But now, well, yeah, now that's what I would do now. But yeah, I feel like I have the leadership qualities, but I haven't fully met that expectation.
Or what you think?
Wait, what was the question again?
This good. Do you feel that you're a leader? And if you think you're a leader, like, how has Kut Different opened your eyes more into being that leader?
All right, so, like, I feel like I'm one, and I feel like I'm not one. It's like what London said, like, I'm not meeting the expectations, but I have it in me. Because, like, I'll tell somebody to do something. Like, for example, I'll tell somebody to put the balls up in the court, and I'll still have the football in my hand. Of course, they're not going to listen to me. We in the room. I tell them to get the journals. I don't have mine. I'm just sitting there. Of course, they're not going to listen.
I like that. So
stuff like that.
So why? Why? So in those moments, if you know what she just said, why? What in your body, what in your head is keeping you from not putting the ball where you did saying something, or having your journal dead saying something? Like, why would you rather command somebody to do something that you're not doing?
Oh, no, I just feel like, I don't even know. I just feel like I'm above everybody. I don't know why, I just feel like that.
We got to break that down, yo. I'm glad you really what you give.
Mom, Dad said.
No, because we're going somewhere with that.
I feel like I got to put it up, like, after them, so I can make sure they put it up, then I'll put it up. But they going to look at me and be like, bro, you got it too. And then they're not going to do it.
So that statement you just made, though, you say that you feel like you're above. I need you to break that down for me so I can make sure I understand what you said. When you say you're above everybody, what do you mean by that?
Like, basically what I just said, like I'll keep the ball so I can, like, pay attention to everybody. And I'll, like, sometimes I'll do it to, like, see if they going to listen to me when I have the ball in my hand. But they really don't be listening. And it's like, so when I put the ball up, then they'll put it up, and I'll see it. Like, I just let him to do that, something like that. But then when I have it, they don't listen.
So listen to what you just said, and I'm gonna tie this back to what I originally said about leadership at the very beginning, right? Leadership is everything that leads up to the moment you're about to give somebody a command or direction, right? Leadership is not just about telling people what to do, all right? Because that can go into authority. If you have authority over people, you can tell them what to do. Authority and leadership it's not interchangeable, right? Leadership, if you want to know if you're an actual strong leader, first question you ask yourself, do you have control over you? If the answer is no, or sometimes, then I hate to break it to you. And that's just being the blunt, honest truth. You have to control you before you can lead anybody else. So in those moments where you sitting there saying, well, when I have the ball in my hand and I'm sitting there telling them to do something and they don't listen. But when I have the ball in my hand, but I'm putting it up, and then they then follow suit by putting it up, that's your answer right there. You got to start walking the walk. You can't just talk it. You can't just walk up and show up one day and start barking orders, think everybody's gonna listen. Again, the question you gotta ask yourself is, why should these people listen to me? Why should I be a leader over them? You have to ask yourself those hard questions. What is it about me that's worth following? You have to ask that. When I'm ignored, why am I ignored? Is it my delivery? Is it I'm being hypocritical as a leader? Is it I'm not communicating well enough? I'm not being clear? I'm not articulating? Like, these are questions to ask yourself.
Even that we're having this conversation right now, you guys are light years past the people of your age. Even the fact that we're having this discussion and you're able to see here is self-assess yourself. But it doesn't mean nothing if you're just going to self-assess and not go put in the changes. So like what we just said, what you need to change. So the ball is in your court. You're only going to be as good as a leader as you want to be. Again, you can fix the things that you're saying. You have the ability to go fix it and come back and be a better leader. And why not? Why not? Again, you guys are both going into arenas and you're only going to get older. You're at that age now where you got to figure it out. At this age, most people know, like, okay, I'm going to do it or I'm not. Like, you have it kind of like made up in your mind. Like, I got what it take or I don't. I know both of y'all have what it take. I just need both of y'all to know that you have what it take. All right? Go be it. Go be the next future leaders. We say it all the time. You guys are. But at the end of the day, it's on you. We can't do it for you. That's all I need y'all to know. All right, sir. All right. Man, that was it, family. All you know what I need you to do right now. You already know what time it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. When you see this video, we'll been on had our summer banquet. As we're recording right now, our summer banquet is actually this week on Friday. So we'll be able to give you some updates on the next podcast that we have. So I know you guys gonna be looking for that. We're gonna have a time of life, man. What y'all thinking about at summer banquet, man? That's why I need help. It's gonna be after, but I just do want to hear a little word. What you thinking about the summer banquet? How you feel about the summer banquet?
It's gonna be a move. About to be the biggest one yet.
Okay.
Well, y'all gonna be lit, bro. Like, just come out and support.
All right. So, but they gonna see it after, but still.
Oh, what would I say?
It's cool. It's lit. It's still gonna be lit, and it's gonna be a movie. I'm with y'all. So it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a movie. Man, make sure y'all keep supporting, man. We don't take it for granted. Keep watching, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe because our podcast is always gonna be a movie, and it's always gonna be lit as well. All right, family. We'll see y'all next time.